Hey everybody, welcome to Girlfriend Talk. Wild and Limit, happy to an hour. I'm Nick.
I'm Ro.
Hey.
We have a special guest.
Hello, how y'all doing? My name's Kenneth Marshall, author Kenneth Marshall.
All right, Mr. Kenneth Marshall. Okay, we're gonna discuss your book. Why must we play these dating games?
So we're gonna discuss the first book.
Yeah, that's the one we
Okay,
read.
I'm with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
read that one.
That's the one we got to. I see you have two books. I'm looking forward to reading the second book. The first book. One of the things I do want to ask is, are you thinking about doing an audio book for people like me who don't have a lot of time?
I need to. I'm trying to figure out a little bit of how that operates and can be done. Amazon offers it, so I'm just going to sign up for it and make it audio.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, Shell. Ro, you read the book.
Okay, yeah. So
You have some questions.
I do have some questions. One of the first questions I want to ask is,
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let me stop you. What made you write this book? Why must we play these dating games?
All right.
What were you thinking?
What I was thinking was I was married, right?
So you was playing games. Okay.
No. I had to get back into the dating world, right?
You were married.
After the divorce, right? So from the time that I was married until getting back into the dating game, things had changed, right? So I was kind of like in a meeting and I'm like, man, there's a lot of BS going on around here. Why y'all like all these games and shit, right? So I kind of asked a question of why must we play these dating games. I created a 38 question survey and gathered the information in order to write the book, and then also some of my own personal experiences, as well as interviewing people while they were filling out the survey to get more insight.
did that help you with your dating?
It did. It did. It allowed me to understand that I'm going to be honest no matter what. And reality is you're going to have to deal with reality regardless if you want to deal with it now or later, right? So to exclude the dating games out of the equation allows you to kind of shelve the representative right off from the get-go. You never get my representative. So I believe it's
So you
quite
show
successful.
you for who you are. You show the
Absolutely.
real you. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But did we really show our true selves in the very beginning? Because to get to know the real you, wouldn't that take time? I'm not going to know you within the first 10 to 20 minutes of meeting you. As much as you would like to think that you're real, I'm not going to know the real you in the first 10 minutes.
And you'll never know the real me until adversity hits. You know, a person shows their true colors when there's adversity. There's a ton of different elements and situational circumstances. So, but I'm saying as far as my intentions, my perspective and the angle that I'm coming, I can be forthright and forthcoming with that information. But you'll never know if he or she is crazy until crazy happens. You know what I'm saying?
True.
No one wears I'm crazy on tattooed on their head, right? It just you find out after the fact.
Right. Show all the good in the beginning.
That's the representative. There's no adversity.
Not until a month later.
Yeah.
You think it takes a month before someone shows their true self? How long do you think it takes before adversity hits a relationship and you show your true self?
The adversity not being something that's external, whereas the internal adversity, meaning that now the honeymoon's over,
Mm-hmm.
that could be a month to 3 months, just depending on how much time you have to spend with each other.
That's true.
Right? Because how I write it in the first book, you can only be brand new once with somebody. Then after that, the excitement of the newness depreciates, kind of like a car when you drive it off the lot.
I don't know how I feel about being compared to a car.
Depends on what kind of car it is.
I don't care what it is. I'm not a car. You're not driving me.
Don't focus so much on the actual vehicle, but just understand what it means. Because again, you can't be brand new, but only once. And we understand that a lot of women have a issue with keeping her attention, keeping her excited within a relationship. Boredom is something, and mundane is something that a lot of people struggle with.
Men get bored faster.
You think so?
Heck yeah, y'all do. That's why y'all cheat.
Not at all.
Okay, come on, Shell.
But you said that men can't be monogamous.
I've said humans have a hard time being
He
monogamous.
did say humans.
Yeah,
he
you
did say
say
humans.
Hold on, but when you did your survey, you surveyed men.
And women.
Okay.
I had about 320 women and probably about 170 men. The majority were African American,
Mm-hmm.
between the ages of anywhere from 25 to 40. But the demographic was more or less 30 to 40, right? I even had some older.
Okay.
But I believe that monogamy is something that it may not be natural as far as our genetics, but it's something that is a choice. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I totally
I agree.
understand it, and that's kind of where my question was coming from, because you were almost making it seem like we're so animalistic that we can't choose every day to be monogamous, or we can't decide every day when we get up. Because it's just like love. You choose to love that person over and over again, and that's what keeps it exciting. We're looking for external validation to keep from being bored, but you have to wake up in the morning and decide to stay married, decide to stay in love, decide to be monogamous. Not, oh, it's just going to happen because I woke up.
Right, right. And that would be on the if the world was perfect, if it was a black and white world. But then you have circumstances in life that comes into place. Okay, so now you have a situation where the man provides everything for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you wanted a guy who was well off and was financially secured, but in him making that life for you, he has to be gone. So now his availability to you is questioned.
Right.
He's now, it's like maybe he's always at work. Now the pool guy, the mailman.
Ooh, cool guy.
The pool guy.
And then I always tell people, you're only as honest as the last lie you were caught in, because you'll always find out about what someone else is doing after the fact. No one, how many times have you ever been told, hey, babe, there's a new chick at the job. She fine as hell. I think I'm going to smash. You don't get that.
Mm-mm.
It's
I would
going to
hope
be,
not to get that.
but some hope to get that, because now I'm able to make a conscious decision on if I want to continue to deal with you or not. You hear what I'm saying?
I don't
Because
think nobody hopes to get that.
nobody, no, nobody wants it. Nobody, I'm not advocating that cheating is fine. I'm saying that the situational circumstances happen.
Right.
Infidelity is not something that just happened yesterday.
Right.
Why? Okay, and I always say this: natural behaviors are to be discouraged and curbed by laws and rules and society standards. Why is it that is it the sixth commandment that they say, thou shall not commit adultery?
Mm-hmm.
It's only if why is it even a rule if it's not to control natural behavior? You only put a lion in a cage to control his natural behavior to kill. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that they have a law that says in certain states that infidelity is punishable by law? There are certain, I think about 8 or 9 in Arizona, a couple other states, Oregon, that if you
Really?
were caught, they
I know
can press
in
charges.
North Carolina, you
I didn't
can
know that.
press charges against the woman that. So you're married, you can press charges against the woman that stole your husband.
Or the man.
Oh, well,
Wow.
So I mean, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, but why would if we were naturally monogamous, why did there have to be laws and rules to discourage it? But not to say that we can't make a conscious decision every
Not
day
to.
to be.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I guess that goes with our sin nature. We're all born with sin.
Sin, exactly.
So you have that original sin. So that might be part of the sin nature. I do have a question about
Mhm.
you make the statement, the chance for him to have sex with her is the opportunity to lose. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What-
Please
what does-
explain that.
What does that mean?
Okay, So I don't know if you have any questions about the hunters.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the hunters that in the book I gave.
You want me to go through the different hunters that you gave? Or
Please do.
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, so you have the do for her, you have the status guy, you have the lots of perks or the percolates.
Percolator
Is that okay? And you have the
It is
for the groupie
for the groupie.
and the chosen man,
Uh-huh.
and then you have the friend guy. So I gave the titles, and you're going to give the definitions of those.
Okay, so the chosen man is the guy who typically has the opportunity to lose, because he's the guy who's so attractive that when he walks in, women choose him. It's the girl, he fine girl, he can get it. He gets that reaction. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
now with her showing her interest in him openly and overtly, he knows that, hey, It's just a matter of time. I got to go through my date process, and it's my opportunity to lose because she's basically undressed me already. We've
Okay.
already made that determination within 5 seconds that damn girl, he can get it. So that's what I mean. His
Oh, okay.
opportunity to lose.
Okay, and he's the only one that can get it.
Not all the time. There are certain people that she may have a need or a strategy to gather or gain from him. He could be the club owner, and she's made her determination that she needs to get VIP level of service,
Okay.
and she can go ahead and do that as well.
And that would be the club owner would be the
He can
For
be
the group?
for the groupie or status guy.
okay, the status guy. Okay. Okay. This part did kind of bother me when you said the women part of the women's struggles. Our dignity and our self-worth is found in our vaginas. Please explain that
Let
to me.
me unexplain that.
Yes.
Okay, I said in that it's kind of misquoted, but my question was,
Okay. I know.
why is it that women tend to believe or act as though her self-worth is found within her vagina? I give you an example. I had in one of my focus group, I had a lady. She was degreed.
Mm-hmm.
She had her own business. She gave to the church. She did community service, but she had a resume of bodies of men that she had sex with over 100. So I asked men and women, is she still a good person, or is she a hoe? She's a good hoe. These are the type of answers that I got. So now the need to show a level of conservativeness with your cookie tends to go right in hand. Look at all the games that y'all play as far as the dating games. It's all about.
Who did he say, y'all?
Hold on. I'm saying y'all as in women.
Okay.
No.
90-day rules is to what?
That was Steve Harvey.
I'm just
Right.
asking the
I
question.
don't do a 90-day rule.
That was a man that brought that
But
rule.
he sold-
Exactly.
He sold a lot of books and he made a movie that you watched. All I'm saying is, what was the premise of the 90-day rule?
To hold out to see if he's worth your cookie.
But again, it was to hold out the cookie. So my
Yeah, he still
self-worth
got it.
and my dignity tends to be held in what I do or don't do with my vagina. It's simple. I mean, look at all the games. I'm not going to sleep with a guy on the first date. I need to wait before. Everything is to show level of conservatives, rightfully so, because men can't handle your truth.
Right.
I asked this question to gather it. I asked men, a woman who's never been married, she's 30 years old, never been married. How many different partners would be too many partners per your particular opinion?
Mm-hmm.
The average answer was 10. Totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Even if she had one, because the average age is 16.9 for when people lose their virginity. Even if she did one a year, that exceeds 10.
Right.
Exactly.
So men say, well, if you want me to choose you, I need you to act like you don't ever get a goddamn thing up. But I want you to be a freak.
Right. You can't have both.
Yes,
It's a
he
double-
can. He could be a freak with him.
But no, it's
But
that
you understand what
double
I'm saying?
standard,
It's the
right?
double
You
standard.
want like they said, I want a lady in the streets and a hoe in the bedroom or a freak in the bedroom type
Right.
of thing.
Right.
So,
But exactly. But we can't. I don't want to know it. The knowing is what men can. Men
That is
don't.
true.
They just don't
They
want
Yeah,
to
don't-
know.
they
women don't want to
know.
hear it, and men can't handle it.
Right.
We
That's
just
true.
can't handle your truth. And I touch it a lot more of it in this book about
Okay, the
you can't
second
book.
handle
Yeah,
her truth.
okay.
Mhm.
Because even if you found out, for most men, they're so fragile that any body count that you have is going to be something that he may have a problem with. These guys are crazy.
So the woman should lie about how many.
I mean, no one should ever ask.
That's true.
No one should
ever
ever
They should
ask.
ask, but
no one
But
should
yeah,
ask.
exactly. So that's where I'm saying, in the dignity and the self-worth seems to be tied directly to.
Because that man body count gonna be a lot higher.
And women also say that they don't want a guy who has a dirty dick, right? So they'd be
Right.
like,
Community
know,
dick.
But I don't
Community
think that makes a
dick.
person bad.
I
Like
don't
the example that you gave us. I wouldn't say she's a bad person because she slept with over 100 guys.
I don't
That's
either.
just
But
something that happened in her life.
society says she is, and society is created by men and women. Okay, as far as the standards.
Right.
Mhm.
But I gave an example to exaggerate it, that she did all of these wonderful
Great
things from
things.
degree,
Mhm.
community
Community.
service, all of these type of things, and just off of her body count, She was ridiculed by her own gender and men.
Okay, we got a question. Ladybug Turner. She said, but why label self-worth as a game?
Only when it's used in the context that I mentioned. I mean, you can have self-worth, you can have pride, you can have integrity. Nobody's saying that that's a game. But when I say that, if you have looked at a guy, you've seen a guy, you tell your friend, your girl, damn, he can get it. And you know that you've already determined that he can, right?
I'm gonna tell him, you get it.
Okay, but in that sense, if you run him through an obstacle course in order for him to get it, that's somewhat of a game. Even though you may say
That is true.
okay, even after you made the determination that damn girl he can get it, I still got to have you run.
But
through
yeah,
an
he
obstacle.
got to pay. He got to buy
it's
some
going to be a
dinners. He got to
game.
take you out.
Yeah. So
Doing all that is going to end up a game with me. I know it's going to end up a game.
So that's all I'm saying. So have your integrity. But if you say, well, I don't sleep with a guy on the first date, that may be true for some guys. Some of the hunters, the status guy, the percolator, the do for her, not every guy that you've ever been with or seen, you were just dying to get in the bedroom.
Right.
But the chosen guy, damn, you want to know what the dick do.
So does the first date matter? If it's the 7th date, does it matter? Does it make a difference?
To the man,
Mm-hmm.
it depends on the man, but most times not. I put a question. I put a question in a situation where there's no blueprint to a long-term relationship or matrimony. Mm-hmm. Some have happened on first night sex, right. First date sex. Somebody waited 90 days and the relationship was over in 92. Mm-hmm. There's no blueprint. So when you start talking about this is how you get a man, this is how you get a woman, that's when I shut your ass down, because I don't give any blueprints in my book. I give situational circumstances and perspectives. I know that I'm not the authority. Some people are going to relate to it. Some people are not. Some people relate to the Bible. Some people not. You're not going to get 100% approval from anybody, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, this is just your opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Right.
And I got a little bit of and I got some research behind it, right?
Okay.
A little bit, but not. I didn't research the world. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a fun book. I'm not here to try to tell you how you go about it. You know how to get a man. You had a date. You know how to get a man. Ain't nobody in here not know how to get one.
Right.
And I think just how we are may make it hard to keep somebody in your life, because we do get
bored. Oh, okay.
Monday.
So when you say women have 3 body parts that dominate our thoughts, mind, heart, and vagina.
Yeah.
True. Because again, you've ever been in a situation where you don't want to talk to him and you're mad at him. You know he ain't right for you. Mm-hmm. And then your mind is telling you, girl, that nigga ain't no good, girl. Leave him alone. And then your heart says, well, I do feel for him. I do like him. And then the vagina comes in and says, girl, he ain't did shit to me wrong. Let him come over. And then the mind says, no. Heart tell the vagina, no, he can't come over. You know he ain't right. He's a liar, he a dog. And the vagina's like, I don't give a damn. It's been a week or 2. That's what I'm saying about the 3 body parts. They may all be not in unison, but the heart is the most powerful. Okay. Because if the heart loves him, it's gonna be real hard to get him out of your system.
That's true. Okay.
The vagina really needs him and likes him because he provides a service. The common sense is mad at both of the motherfuckers because they're like, you keep getting us back to the same ass dude.
Rose said toys provide
she
service.
Get a toy for service.
But toy doesn't satisfy the heart, because if you love him or you care him, as I put it in the story, right, you're away from him. So now you're seeing, or her. Guys out, and if any guys stop acting like you don't get caught up behind the ass.
Exactly.
I can't stand
that.
They do.
Act like y'all don't catch feelings.
Right. And they do. And a lot of times men start to be clingy and they want to pretend like this same man who doesn't snuggle, who doesn't hug, that's the same one up underneath you.
And the same one that say, I don't trip behind women, but they stalking you. And
there's no way possible you and I can share intimate moments on any type of regularity and not be having some level of connection with you.
Right.
There's just no way possible. I don't give a damn how hard he think he is. And he'll start trying to claim. You know, niggas be trying to claim after 2 times. He'd be like, where you been? Who the hell you asking?
Right, exactly.
You know
we got a question. Angela Martin. She said, you know her.
I do.
Yeah. So what body parts does the man have?
We're pretty much
Just that
centrally.
one. Just that one.
We're pretty much centrally located.
Just that one.
You know, we're pretty much centrally located, guys. I mean, the same as y'all. Y'all, women that say all day it's not about the dick, but she's always getting it. So I don't understand that your actions totally contradict what your mouth is saying. But with men, we only play the game as though it's not about our dick, because you require us to act like it's not about it. If you think any man who puts his TV on ESPN all the day, all time, I'm just giving an example, he watches total sports, he does nothing that he does when he's with you, like romantic comedies and all these other stuff. He's only doing that.
I'm watching ESPN with him.
And see, that's wonderful. You should teach a class.
I'm watching ESPN with him.
I don't want to watch.
But you get what I'm saying?
Right, I get it.
The dinners are the process. If you would say, you don't have to, hey, look, you don't have to do any of this dinner shit. I've already determined.
Right.
But I'm just saying, but if you were to say that, he'd be like, okay, cool. He's not going to say no.
Right. You're gonna have to feed
you feel what I'm
me.
saying?
Yeah, I do. I totally understand
Okay.
that. But that goes, and I don't know if I want to say that, but nothing's free. Okay,
That's why we're going to eat.
Yeah, nothing's free.
That's called.
That's why we're going to eat many times.
Yeah.
And I talk about that in the in the dating truths.
Okay, the second one.
There's a difference between privilege and leverage. And I tell women the privilege is not in the P.
What's the P?
I mean the leverage. The P is the vagina. Okay, but I'm just saying.
She wants you to say it.
You have the pussy. Okay, but the leverage. I mean the privilege is within the vagina, but it's no leverage behind it. And what I mean by that is that just because you can go to the club as a woman and you have the possibility of vagina for a man, you get free drinks.
Okay.
You get niceties, all off of the hint of the possibility that I can eventually be allowed to mate with you. But as soon as you get me in a relationship, you can't use your P for leverage. You can't use it as a carrot to get me to.
Or you saying we
cannot.
shouldn't?
You cannot.
Oh, but you can.
No. Listen what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that a guy won't do things for you to get it, but you can't say I'm not going to, or I don't do it because you ain't been doing, because now you're going to create tension. But if he is doing anything from getting your car washed to all other things and trying to get coochie coupons, that's because of the privilege,
Okay.
not the leverage. You can't use it to try to get me to do your bidding. It's not going to work.
It will work. It has worked.
Okay, so you're saying as long as I don't do it within, basically you're saying it's not going to work if I blatantly say, oh, you're not getting this unless you do that.
Or your actions blatantly say it. You don't have to say it.
Okay, so as long as my actions
Yeah,
don't,
your
but
actions.
technically it does work like that. We know it works like that, and it's
It
like
does
anything
work
else.
like
You just don't
Yes,
want to
it
admit
does.
it.
It
doesn't
works.
work
Every
like
man
that.
is different. It works like that.
It still works like that.
And
Catch your breath.
I can understand that it can pause. Not every guy has the opportunities to resist, but I don't know too many guys that you are able to puppet with the leverage that you're trying to use and say, if you don't do this, I'm not getting you no more ass.
Okay,
I mean, I don't understand,
well,
because there's too many options out here.
But okay, so
It-
based on
I
what you
kind
said,
of agree with you. It's a lot of options. You're right. It's a lot of options.
It's a lot of
And that's
options,
when
but
cheating
it's
comes
not
in.
mine. It's not mine.
Okay, I get you.
But
And
based on
So
what you
it's a
said-
lot, but
Okay,
it's not mine.
Well, then let's go to what you said in the beginning of the book. You were talking about Adam and Eve, so to speak, and
Okay.
you were saying that Adam just
Yeah,
sat
yeah.
around the hut and everything, and he didn't start doing things until Eve started
holding the cookie.
right, leveraging her.
Right.
So she leveraged it to get what she wanted from Adam, based on what you said.
Absolutely, but it was only him and her.
Okay, based on your scenario. Okay. So you're saying that now that Adam has other women, he
You got-
has Jessica,
Yeah,
Mary and
all-
Susie and
Tammy.
everybody.
All the strength of the
Right.
leverage has been depleted. I'm not saying there's some, like I tell women, not every guy has to be shot from cradle to grave. And what I mean by that is that some women have the attitude that any man is better than no man, right? Or every opportunity deserves going from how you doing, and I got to see it all the way through, as though I got to settle for some shit. you don't have to settle if you have opportunities, but not everybody has the same opportunity. So I'm sure there's somebody out there who may be susceptible to the leveraging of it. And I saw, but I'm just saying, for the most part, it's hard to try to leverage it. But the privilege that you have with it, he's buying rent. He's paying bills. He's doing all that just for the hope to get him something. He just to sniff it. Some guys.
Okay. So getting to this doggy style dilemma.
Oh.
Initially, when I read that paragraph, I was like, that's a selfish lover. Yes, I did. I finished reading more, but the way you explain that whole thing about the doggy style and you don't care and and you quote, you want.
Okay, please quote it, please. You can't read your own writing.
You want her to hold her position even if afterwards she is lying on her side, folded in the fetal position, suffering from lower abdominal cramps. That's what you said.
It's for entertainment, shock value.
Yeah, and it shocked me. And honestly, in the beginning, actually, if you read the book, because he talks about pleasing her first. He talks about making sure that she is content and she has had as many orgasms that she needs. Mm-hmm. But after she has everything that she needs, she got a gift. So now she's got to do the time. It's kind of like you did the crime, you're going to do the time.
Yeah. So I'm not saying just run into it while you're ice cold and just, it was after, like she said, after I've totally just dehydrated you with orgasms. Now
it's your turn.
I got now hold your head down. Keep your it's time for me to go for mine. And that's all I'm saying.
And he was very graphic when he described it because he was
Can you read it?
Oh, okay, hold on. He was talking about the actual position itself, and he was like, basically, head down, ass up. Don't put your head up. You know what you're supposed to. Would you say? Would you say about your chin and your face?
The chin should
never leave the
sheets.
Sheets.
Never leave the sheets. There's no reason.
Your chin should never leave the sheets.
There's really no need for you to look back at me. Trust me. As long as I'm erect, I'm enjoying it. If you need validation on if I'm enjoying it, the erection is there. Because if I wasn't, that'd go down, right? So all I'm saying is, keep your head down. There's no reason. Ask any man. Trust me. Trust me. But again, the only reason why only reason why I wrote that part is because women have voiced your likes and what you require. You gotta lick it for you. So much y'all put it in song.
Yeah, he did.
You gotta lick it before you stick it.
Yeah.
You gotta go downtown. I don't want no 1 minute man.
Yeah.
Y'all have been very vocal on what you want. So I'm like, well, why are men so silent about this? And then I had to come out with my poem to say, hey, there are certain requirements for your ass too. You don't get a night off.
Okay. And once the chin hits the sheets, she doesn't leave the sheets.
So so that's what I wrote another one for the riding position too, but it's just basically, it kind of states that the motion of back and forth is horrible.
It's hard.
Horrible.
Okay, please.
The up and down is what we need you to do when you're on top, because the actual penis is steadfast.
Yeah.
So when you go back and forth, it's not a 5-speed that you can put in the key.
Okay.
So therefore, it causes discomfort. But men never tell you that because he wants you in your mood to believe that you're doing looking all luxurious.
but
he's going to allow you to pick your clothes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want to break your mood because I know eventually all I got to do once I can't bear it is to roll your ass over and go to the porn. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so we're learning.
Wait a minute. So when you roll over, that means she wasn't doing that.
It may be.
If you,
not necessarily.
I thought the person on top, if the
She wasn't doing that.
it's about the person on top, so it ain't about you.
No, it's about him.
It's about me because
it's about both to me.
So the person, when
It's
the
about
woman's on
both.
top, it's about you.
No.
It's not about her.
It can be both. All I'm saying is that it has to be sad. One person has to have a level of satisfaction to sustain performance level.
Right.
Because if you drop off on the performance level per his requirement, things begin to become soft. So it has to be at some point about him if you want that particular organ to be at optimum level, is all I'm saying. So if you're not, and feet on the bed too, please. No more knee riding, ladies, please.
Oh, was
Just-
that lazy sex? Is that what you're saying?
It's not the best. So please get on your feet
I agree with you now.
and bounce away, ladies, bounce away. Okay.
Right in the camera when
Hey,
he said that
actually
too.
giving
I mean it.
advice.
I really mean it. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we talked about the cheating. Who's guilty of it and why?
You know,
Whoever cheated, whoever
everyone cheats, but you know, as far as the definition,
Everyone
Don't say-
doesn't cheat.
Don't
Everyone-
say
everyone
that.
cheats.
No.
Everyone
doesn't
doesn't
cheat.
cheat.
Okay,
Hold
so
on.
let's start with your
Everyone
definition
Maybe
first.
they have
Before you make
cheated.
that statement,
yes, please.
Maybe
we need
have,
you to
but
qualify
not
this statement.
always.
The definition that I used is saying or doing anything that you wouldn't say with the opposite gender that you wouldn't say or do if your mate was right beside you. I believe there are misdemeanor cheating infractions and there are felony level cheating infractions. Not everything is a felony. Okay. Let's say, for instance, I'm in an establishment, you're my woman, you come in and you see me from a distance because you can't hear us. We're just,
Right.
she's smiling, we're all into it, and she's leaning on me and everything.
Mhm.
You may want to know, who is she?
Now I'm walking up with them haymakers on you.
Damn, just for talking? Wow. Okay, so all I'm saying is this. That may be a grade super high misdemeanor, but there's got to be something that distinguishes the acts. I mean, separates the acts. So let's say, for instance, in that same scenario, you see me like this, like I'm keying in a number. That has to be an elevated level of an offense. That's why I say there's misdemeanors to felonies. Everything can't be a damn death sentence. Are we that damn jealous? Are we that damn innocent? All I'm saying is that there's just levels. So say, for instance, if you have a guy at your job that you know likes you and he times his breaks with you, you entertain his conversation even though you know you like him. If your man was standing right beside you, you wouldn't even see the dude. You wouldn't even acknowledge him because your mate's there. That's why I said if your mate was standing beside you. No one is like this with visors on during their life. You acknowledge compliments. You get compliments. You acknowledge a nice looking guy. You may entertain someone who's flirting with you in your inbox that you know that you're not going to allow it to go any further, but you wouldn't be entertaining this flirt. Like, hey, baby, look at this.
Some people do.
Some people may, but I'm just saying
But
there
I get-
are
yeah.
levels.
Right.
And that's what I meant by it.
But okay, but see, I guess my question to that is, I understand that not everything is a felony, but if you're trying to protect your relationship, should you be hee-heeing and ha-haing with somebody that you find attractive that's not your mate?
That's why we have a grave full of shit that people take to it.
See, okay.
I'm just being honest.
Explain that to me.
I'm just.
So you're saying don't protect it, just go ahead and be.
That's why. I mean, think about it. How much shit does our parents don't know that we did, that we know what was
true.
against it? I mean, there's reality and then there's Walt Disney. If you want Walt Disney, nobody's going to be able to fulfill that because now it's going to take away who they are. But if you want the reality aspect of it, that comes with a level of respect. I got to live life and have some level of an out. Some level. Nobody's saying we got to go all the way and have threesomes in behind the company's door, but to say that I just can't even acknowledge to someone else's beauty.
No, I'm not saying that you can't
Or
acknowledge.
interact.
No, I'm saying okay, if you know you're going to see her every day at work
Mm-hmm.
and you know you find her attractive, but you know you have a woman that you care about and you love at home. If you know you already find her attractive,
Mhm.
you already see down. You're not stupid. You're not blind. You can see that that's a possibility that she could trip up your relationship. So why would you continue to entertain that
No,
I
person?
disagree with
I
that
don't-
because
yeah, I
I
don't
find
see
somebody
that.
attractive don't mean I'm trying to
Go there.
go there.
Well,
with
it
you.
doesn't
doesn't
mean
mean
that you're
that you
trying to
want
go
'em.
there, but close proximity. If you continually hang around someone and you're continually hee and ha with that person, and you already find that person attractive, that's what I mean by protecting. Put a hedge of protection around your.
What's your
relationship.
definition of cheating?
Well, he just said it.
What's
Now, what's yours? Yeah, what's your
of
definition?
cheating?
My definition of cheating is basically, like he said, doing something with someone that you wouldn't do around me. If we're in a relationship, would you continue to talk to this woman?
Absolutely not. If you're there present, I'm not going to entertain her, unless I introduce y'all to and we're friends in all that whole situation.
Right.
But again, what I'm saying is that as far as the definition of the cheating, people do what people do. That's why you always find out about something after the fact. Okay. There's a lot of shit that's going to the grave with a lot of people from teenage to relationship. You know what I'm
Some
saying?
of it should go.
And some should go. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, in the situation, there has to be a level of, okay, not everything's so goddamn serious. I understand. If I get mad at my girl for guys trying to holler at her, I need to be a fighter.
Right. And I agree with that. I mean, she can't control someone that finds her attractive.
Yeah, and even if
Right.
she entertains it to a certain level, even if she entertains, because again, everyone wants to be admired. Everybody wants to be viewed as attractive to the world.
I agree with that.
Martez said, "What if the wife finds her attractive too?"
Then you bring them off to the bedroom.
Oh my
You bring them off to the bedroom.
That's a
Not
lot
and,
swinging.
Martez.
It's a lot swinging and
There will
threesomes
not
going on.
be any.
you bring them
There
off to
will
the
not
bedroom.
be any threesomes going on.
Hey, all I'm just saying is I'm answering the question. If the wife agrees, we're not holding guns to anyone's head here. If the wife agrees, then
Then that's
that'll
not
be
cheating.
their business.
Right. I guess that's not. Someone just
Ooh.
asked, was that cheating? If the wife says she's attractive, unless I guess not. If they're all in agreement, I guess that's not
But
considered.
how is it
cheating.
cheating if I'm talking to a guy at work and he's nice looking and I talk to him every day? How's that
How is
going to
that
affect my
good?
relationship?
And even though
That makes
you know
sense.
that you would, but you're not available. So even if he meets the physical
because
criteria,
I find him attractive,
Yeah,
don't mean I want to talk to him or
Absolutely.
date him
I
because
totally
I may
agree
not
with
like
you.
his
I agree with that
personality or
too.
something.
I totally agree with you. And even if you do like his personality, you may not just be available. And this is how we
Yeah.
communicate at work.
Okay, so the guy that you talk to all the time, I guess we're gonna go back to the stages of hunting. The friend guy,
Mhm.
that's the one that you see all the time, who's always there for you, and all of a sudden now you're with the friend guy. But you initially you weren't thinking about him and you weren't thinking about cheating with him, but because of close proximity and because you're always around the friend guy, now you're with the friend guy. It's kind of like that when I say, I'm not saying you're just blatantly going out looking for people to cheat with, or just because you find someone attractive you're going to cheat with them. I'm saying, shouldn't we, because we're not just animalistic, shouldn't we, if we know that this may be a problem down the road, shouldn't you at some point say, hey, this may be a problem? Or if my man saw me, if he came up to my job and surprised me and saw me he and a ha with this dude, how would he feel about it? Shouldn't those be the things that we think about if we're really in a relationship?
You can, and I believe that that's a good thought. But to which degree do you execute it? Which degree do you facilitate the cautionary practice? Meaning, some people are okay with just communicating in the break room. Maybe the guy emails you and start talking about other stuff, and he wants to tell you about his relationship to kind of break the ice and become and befriend you. You entertain his conversation, start telling him about what you would do in that scenario. All it's doing is now creating an opportunity for you to kind of get his perspective and see where he's coming from. And now he's starting to side with everything that you say, because now he's trying to make an impression. Yeah, girl, me too. I wouldn't. So now he's trying to get close. But if she never allows it, all it is just talk.
Okay. You had I wanted to get down to
Okay, I got a question.
good.
you got?
Go to the question why I find this.
Okay, what about sharing your marriage problems with someone of the opposite sex? Should a man get upset if his wife gets attention from another, if her husband is not giving it to her?
Yeah, he has a right to. He has a right to. Hold on, listen what I'm saying. He has a right to, if that's his personality and what they're actually talking about. Because again, in that situation, would you do it if your mate is there? I define the cheating. I can't go away from that. So if
Right.
the guy says that's cheating, now he has a problem, right? And he has a right to address it. But it's also something that you may keep away, because another perspective can also help you understand maybe where he's coming from, because your mate may just shut down and he just may play the stubborn role with you, right?
Right.
And what you're trying to do is get clarification on what could be the thought process or the motive behind the actions,
Right.
or the reluctancy to discuss it, right? So I believe, as a shrink to a coworker, good advice to your pastor, good advice can come from anyone.
Right.
Okay, we got 15 minutes left.
Okay. We got some great questions, and we have this. Once again, we want to tell everybody about this book. Actually, I'm on the first book that I like. why must we play these dating games? I have to say that a lot of the stuff that you put in here is for shock factor. And you can tell just by the way you wrote it, because I was getting a little peed off. I was like, oh, no, he didn't. For some of the stuff that you wrote in here. I have not gotten to the second book yet. I'm looking forward to maybe hearing that on audio.
And yeah, I got to get it in audio.
Okay.
I got to do that. I'll let
So
you
work
know.
on that for me, please, because
Absolutely.
I go through a lot of books during the course of a week, and if it's on audio, it makes it a lot easier. For
Absolutely.
us. Any other questions? Oh, that was the second book. To remind everybody about the second book, Dating Truths, Loss Prevention, Damage Control. You can actually, if you want to talk a little bit about that book, I hadn't gotten to it yet, but tell us a little bit about that.
The book, Dating Truth, Loss Prevention versus Damage Control, is basically a play on words that men on the loss prevention side try to mitigate being played. That's how you mitigate losses. Men try not to get played. Women,
Nobody try to get played.
well, I'm just saying, men try not to get played because we usually have to lead with our finances. And it's a thin line between being on the right track while I'm spending money and being played while I'm spending money. And what we try to do is determine where we are in that.
Okay.
Then the damage control is that women don't want to be used.
Right.
That's why you show the conservativeness with the cookie, because
Okay.
you figure your only leverage at this particular time, or privilege or vice that you have to get what you want, like dinners and lunches or what have you, is he's only after me because of that. And you all know this. He just can't show it.
We all know you're only after us for one thing.
The initial. I don't know anything else. I don't know anything else about you. There's not one time as a guy seen a woman and said, damn, look at her personality.
Yeah, right. 'Cause we don't say
I'm
we say
only
that.
coming for your
His
personality.
is
And there's
so
never,
great.
it's never been a situation where a woman has offered, after I took you out on a date, and you said, okay, well, hey. And he said, hold on. Put your goddamn clothes back on. I'm still working on your personality. That'll never happen. Every long-term relationship started with, yo, my nigga, I smashed the shit out of that. And then I got to know you, and then it evolved into a long-term relationship to marriage. But every single time, he can't see your personality.
So you're saying that
And he's lying if he said he can.
no, I know that. But I'm saying, you're saying that before he really decides if you're the type of person he wants to be with, he has to have sex with you first?
It's a good start. In this book, I say this. I say
What?
this.
What?
No. I keep it 100. Let me tell you. Let me tell you this right now, everybody out there. There is a time frame. I asked the question in dating loss prevention. From first meeting you, there's a preset out-of-pocket expense limit.
Did I read that?
Just because I put a
We
definition,
haven't gotten to that.
just because I put a definition in the name to it doesn't mean it doesn't validate what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
There is a limit. It usually may come with a certain amount of dates or a certain amount of money spent before he loses singular focus on his chase only for you. Because before he met you, there was somebody he could talk to. So you can live in Disney, or you can come into the real world.
I hate to say it, but I agree with that. I actually had a guy tell me after a weekend, we have been going out for about 6 months, and after a weekend, he said, I spent $600 with you, and I still can't get
Oh,
it.
he was counting it.
And I'm like, what? Are you
Counting the
saying
money.
that because you spent $600 on me, I'm just supposed to roll over and no.
But every guy knows that I'm only
That's what he
spending
was
to get it, because
expecting.
there's not a guy. I know Disney has fucked up this world, but there's not a guy who is trying to make your acquaintance only to acquire new friends. In the interim, in the process, it may be a situation where I can find my woman, my wife, but I only know what I can see. And you put a lot of work, women do, in their appearance.
Yes.
Why? Because we're visual creatures.
Right.
We all are visual
Yeah,
creatures.
yeah.
So
I agree.
you want the reaction, but you don't want the known reaction.
Well, no, you just don't want it to come off like I spent $600 on you and I can't get none. That's what you don't want.
That was an investment.
That was everything is every look.
Well, I guess that investment didn't pay off.
Well,
Okay.
I'm
And
just
he's
saying.
mad about it.
And-
Well,
and-
no, he's went on with his life now, and I'm
And he was
glad.
mad
that,
because he spent $600.
well, you know, you shouldn't have spent the $600.
and some guys never have to spend $600, and some guys
Come
do.
on, you gotta spend $1 million, huh?
No, yeah. I mean, some like to say the chosen man. He, you know, she has a lot of rules for other guys on the hunters list.
Okay.
But then the
The
chosen
chosen
man,
one.
he, you
You don't
know,
have to do nothing.
yeah,
Just show up.
attraction is the equalizer.
Do we know what the status
There-
guy?
Oh, the status guy he said would be like the club owner or the
Oh, okay.
basketball
That's the
player
group.
or
The
Friend
guy,
guy.
the
Friend guy. Do we go with friend guy?
friend guy was the one that you kind of mentioned.
the
as far
friend
as-
guy would be that guy you'd say, I didn't really see myself with this person, but
He kind of grew on
he
me.
kind of grew on
I don't want
me.
nobody to grow up on me.
Yeah, I can't do the
No
person.
warts.
I can't do that.
Not at all.
But sometimes you really
Don't grow
don't.
on me.
True.
It's one of those things where women have this idea of what type of man they want, but you have this guy that has been placed in front of you who's a really good provider. He may not look like the way you want him to look, but he may be all those other things. So that's kind of where the friend guy falls into line. He may not be 6'2", he may only be 5 foot. He may only be 5'9", you know, that type of thing. So you're gonna keep overlooking him because you're looking for Mr. 6'2" type of thing. So that's kind
No,
of
Yeah,
think
you're
it's
going to
just-
stick to that.
Yeah, I just think it's attraction. I don't want to date any of my guy friends.
Yeah, I'm not dating a guy.
I've dated short guys before. I mean,
No,
don't
we're
want
not
short-
saying
I don't
that. I
want
just
short
don't want
guys.
to date a
Personal
guy
preference.
friend.
But a guy that you put into the friend zone, which I talk
Yeah.
about in this book, that there's only 3 ways.
Yeah.
Is it on the record?
Oh,
okay, great.
Hey, can I chime in?
Yes.
Oh my God, so funny. Hey, let me introduce myself. My name is Shavonda with a V. That is me. Can I get y'all to say Shavonda with a V?
Shonda
Shavonda
with a
Shavonda
V.
with a V.
Hey, that's me. Okay, listen, y'all. I'm live. So, oh my God, so funny. Baby, I could not sit over there without saying something. Okay, listen. So, talking about when you said, talking about the guy that is, that's the good guy that you end up just allowing to grow on you, and because he's a good provider, he's a good team player. And oh my God, you guys, I was just talking about on the show that I spent 4.5 years with that. And it went
the good guy?
nowhere. With the good guy. With the
It-
good guy.
It went
What
nowhere.
do you mean it went nowhere?
No,
Took
meaning
four-
we were good.
Mhm.
He was really supportive, team player, paid the bills, and did all those good things good to me and my kids. But there was a disconnect in some areas. You know what I'm saying? And so you end up trying to groom someone and mold them into what you want them to be.
What areas were y'all disconnected?
Right. What's the
Mm.
disconnect?
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
talk about it. What
Go
area?
ahead.
Okay, so
Stop.
You go ahead and say it.
It's-
Girlfriend talk.
it's-
Exactly. And that's that.
and there was, you know, there
4
it
years?
was a little sleepy.
4
It was a
years?
little sleepy.
4 years?
It was a little sleepy, and well, here's the thing. So sometimes, what women don't know and what men don't express is sometimes they're not taught in certain areas of how to be a man and how to be a man to a woman. And some are, you know, like the one I had was a green thumb. You know, he played sports all of his life, and you know, he was a big Ruben
Okay,
stud.
but okay, disconnect area.
Mhm.
You said in the bedroom, right? That was one of the
Yeah.
areas.
Chemistry.
4 years.
4.5 years. Okay, so here's the thing. Again, when you're dealing with a team player, because see me the way I operate, I'm a Pisces. I deal with
Oh, you
people
crazy.
on a, don't say that.
Oh,
I'm
you
not crazy. It's
crazy.
Pisces season.
It is. You crazy.
But
Go ahead.
no, so there was a disconnect because I was, you know, when you constantly, I mean, I like a man that take charge. And
Did
so
you
when
tell
you
him
when
So
you're
it was
trying
no
to,
attraction anymore in the bedroom.
No, he.
because I think he wasn't stimulating me mentally and wasn't
He was
feeding
such
me
a good
mentally.
guy.
He wasn't bossy enough for me. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
wow.
And so-
Oh, hey, everybody got
head
No.
down, ass up,
No,
man.
no. Go ahead.
When I say bossy enough, I mean somebody who has that take charge capability.
It was
You
a
know what I'm
pushover?
saying? No, it's not a pushover.
Okay.
It's somebody, you know what I'm saying?
In certain,
Somebody
I do
in
get it.
some areas.
gotcha.
You know what I'm
In certain
saying?
situations.
In some areas, in some situations.
So he
And
just wasn't aggressive in certain areas.
Well, in manly thing, like I want somebody to grab this waist and grab this ass and pull me to him, and you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, embrace me and
They all do.
take, you know what I'm saying? It's just some type of, it's just certain shit that feeds me. You know what I'm saying?
Take
and,
charge.
and when we're talking, I need
Take
you
charge.
to,
They all do.
you know,
charge.
sprinkle sprinkle me with some shit. You
But
know
you-
what I'm saying? Like that I'm a mind stimulating kind of person.
So
But
he
you-
doesn't
He needs
satisfy you
conversation.
at all.
But
Yeah.
you,
Mind, because if you can stimulate this,
You can get that.
but you know, there's a lot of people who go through a situation with a guy that may not be stimulating to them sexually or not have that spark. You just got that animal attraction, but then they start to self-evaluate them within themselves and say, will it make me shallow? Is this the right thing to not part ways with this guy? On paper, he's the right man. Mama would be
But,
proud if I
yeah.
brought him home,
You
but
better
he
be
just
making
don't
$100
do it for me.
Don't stimulate.
Yeah, he just don't do it for me.
I had to let it go. And let me tell you something, baby. And the way time is right now, baby, without with me husband.
Why you just looking at yourself? Show us.
I'm trying to show y'all. Okay.
Lie.
No, the way I'm hustling
Ah.
and doing things, it's hard to let a good man that's doing the right thing and that's holding things down go. But it's like, what's more important for me? I want to go to the altar eventually. You know what I'm saying? I want to marry somebody that, you know what I'm saying?
don't know what
That
you're
ain't
saying.
about the looks. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no
I don't know what you're saying.
She wildin'.
That basically.
She wildin'.
Like that.
I'm saying. I don't know what you're saying.
I know you watching right now, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
keep it up. But baby,
This is last.
She said, but to be honest with
this
a
time
motherfucker,
around, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get what you want. You know what I'm saying? You gotta.
life is short.
You talking to us?
Yeah,
You
life
talking to yourself?
I'm talking about you gotta get what you want.
I agree.
I know you and my people that's online, but no, you gotta get what you want. And so
Okay.
when y'all said that,
5
I
minutes.
just couldn't.
I don't want 5 minutes.
All right,
Wrap
I'm
it
like,
up.
all right, no, it's
Really
Look out,
appreciate you. I'm trying to
Thank
and,
you.
and,
That's the way to be. Okay, don't
There
knock
you
nothing
go.
over.
and that's
Thank
a
y'all.
lot of times you do end up the friend guy is that person that will handle the bills and handle all the responsibilities
Right.
that the chosen man just won't handle sometimes.
And I do talk about that with the finna do. You saw it in the chapter. The finna do is the guy who's finna do this and do that, but never does a damn thing.
Yeah.
But if I ever find women to take care of it, but the end of,
Because that's the one that's putting it down,
yeah, he's putting it down.
but he's
But-
not.
He's not. But guess what?
But that's all he's doing. Is
But-
He ain't,
put it
he ain't got no
Well,
job. He ain't
but
got
he's-
no car.
to
He
do.
don't own
He's
no
finna
doing.
house.
Do it.
Yeah,
Oh,
his CD
no.
finna drop. But see, all I'm saying is, but all I'm saying is, but independent woman who don't need no man for her money, for his money, the finna do is a perfect fit because you need time. And
Mhm.
nothing got nothing. Nobody
Well,
got more
good
time
job.
than finna do.
Yeah, because he don't have a job.
Yeah. But your level of
Mhm.
I need you to
He
get
finna
up
get
and
one.
get a job.
He finna get one.
Everybody in my house that can get up and get out better get up and get out.
get out, do something.
Wow, I enjoy talking to you. I'm glad I got to talk to you as opposed to just read the book because I was really not liking you.
Ooh,
I
I
really
heard
wasn't.
every
I was
day, every
ooh,
day.
I was
Ooh.
not liking you.
It's like
I said no, he didn't. Oh yeah, I was
this. He's
head rolling and everything. It was just yes. I'm like, oh no, he.
Wow.
You better explain these. You better explain this right
Did
here.
I clarify it?
Yes, you did.
Did it make
appreciate
any
It
sense?
does.
I know that you may not agree
I
100%.
enjoyed a lot of
Right.
a
It
lot of it was
makes
true
sense.
to me.
Yes,
So
I'm
Yeah.
glad you were able to.
yeah.
And I want to come from a common sense, realistic, situational circumstance perspective. And that's all I provide.
Right.
Oh, right. Great book.
Did a good
Great.
job.
Thank you, man.
all right.
So,
Girlfriend talk
yeah, we
with
enjoy it.
Mr. Kenneth Marshall.
Get the book.
Get it. There's only $10 on Amazon. It's also at the Doc Bookshop in Fort Worth. Also in Pan African Connection in Oak Cliff. So yeah, come out and support Black business. Only $10.
Website. You
I
have a site?
on the page, my radio show page has a website. Please be honest radio. I don't know if I'm sorry, but yeah, yeah. So you can please be honest radioshow.com and then we have links to the Amazon and so forth.
You know, it's a bunch of bullshit.
See, I see right now.
No,
Why she got,
no, it's good.
why she got so bad to me?
It's bullshit. I gotta write a book.
Thank you.
bad.